The Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Today we're going to talk about the Humane Society of Midland County, and with us is Jessica Fletcher. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
Good to see you again.
Thank you. You too.
So we need, I think, to start an overview of the Humane Society of Midland County, how long it's been around and what it does.
Yeah, so we've been around for a while, but we took over from the Midland Animal Control back in 2011. So that's when we basically took over that building and more or less had us take over as the Humane Society, from removing us from the gas chambers that used to be kind of what animal welfare was. So since then, we've been going strong and continue to do pretty amazing things.
So I got to ask, who does animal control in Midland County?
So we do still have an amazing animal control officer in Midland through the Sheriff's Department, and we partner together. So we've got an amazing contract that allows for us to take in the strays and surrenders and things on that line. So we
the
work
county
very
no
closely.
longer has a shelter.
Correct.
You're the shelter.
Correct. Yep. So instead of them having to figure out what to do with the animals after, they now take them to us, and we now take care of them, get them the proper care, medical, shots, all of that stuff, and then we hope to get them adopted out.
So are you what we would call, I'm not sure how accurate it is, but a no-kill facility?
Correct. Yes, we hold no kill through the state as well. So I believe that we just received the Best Friends Animal Society's No Kill Award, and we've been receiving it for the last few years, if not longer, because I've only been there for a few years, and that you have to be over 90% no kill, and we're anywhere from 93 to 97%.
There are some animals, because they're vicious or what have you, that don't meet the criteria to save them. Obviously.
Yes and no. I mean, we try to work with them.
Try and work with everything,
Yes.
but there's always a limit.
Yeah, we try to give them every chance possible. We give them as much care we can, and then sometimes we bring in trainers. But then there are some times where it's court cases where it may have been an aggressive situation, and there are things we have no control over because it's part of court case.
How are you funded?
100% donation based.
100%.
Yes,
the county doesn't give you anything.
No. We're one of the very few humane societies who don't receive anything. So we don't receive any funding from the county, from the state, federal. All of our funds are 100% through donations, through our events and fundraisers. And when we can qualify, we try to get grants. And that's one of the things that I believe that you wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
But we get very little funding from grant opportunities because animal welfare, we don't get many of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What amazes me is the county doesn't provide you anything for doing the services they used to have to pay for.
Well, so we do have a contract where we do receive every time that there is a stray that they pick up. We do have, as part of that contract, it's a low fee. We're actually in the process of working on a new contract because they understand, as we understand, that costs go up and it's very expensive to take care of animals.
Oh yeah.
So we've got overhead, we've got staff, we've got medicine, we've got food. We've got all of that stuff. So we are fantastically working with the county on that.
I told you the story years ago. My wife and I adopted a stray rescue with no information about him. So that free dog on a Friday cost us $550 on a Monday.
Correct. Yeah.
To get everything done,
Yeah. So that's something that we try to do is to educate the people who are adopting. But a lot of times we never know any information about the dogs because they come in either strays or surrenders. And a lot of times it's a guessing game. But yeah, we try to give them all the love that they can. But we also give them all of their shots. We give them, their vaccines, their medications, their health checkup. And then we make sure to also spay and neuter them. We really need to educate the community on that.
All that costs money.
Correct.
So if someone comes in and is looking to adopt, I assume there's a fee.
Yes, there is an adoption fee. I will say that the fees have declined over the last few years, mainly because at one time we were able to adopt out dogs and cats anywhere from $70 to $300, depending on the breed, the size, the age. And now with kind of a lot of factors, COVID pets, we're definitely seeing a lot of COVID pets coming back into us. And then, economic crisis. A lot of people are having a difficult time taking care of themselves. So we're seeing a lot of animals coming back to us, and also adoptions are slowing. So although we still get adopted out, 20 to 30 a week, we still are getting in that many that comes into us.
Do you participate in the Bissell Foundation?
We do. Yep. We actually used to do it quarterly, and we've decided to still continue the relationship with them, and we're going to do it once a year. And the reason for that is because we can still continue to offer those types of rates to our community and not have to worry about the extra kind of work that goes with it. But we sometimes are having a hard time getting animals adopted that are completely free with all of their medical checks. So it's a tough time for animal welfare.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but for a long time, a lot of the animals coming in were pit bulls.
A good majority are a pitty mix of some sort.
It's got to be the most misunderstood breed there is.
100%. Yeah,
if you bring them up right, they're fine.
Correct. We still will see them. There is a lot of mixing with pitties for sure. We're also starting to see different breeds of different types of huskies coming in,
Really?
but mostly we're seeing a lot of pits. But that's also everywhere. It's not just us. State of Michigan, also just other states in general. It's a big problem in general.
And part of it is deserved, part of it isn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And I think
breed got a bad name.
Yeah, I think just the misconception. We judge too soon, and like you said, sometimes that is the case. But a lot of times they just need a little extra love.
You see all of these animals come through.
Mm-hmm.
What's the easiest animal to deal with?
The easiest animal to deal with? I don't know if there's so much an easier animal. I would say the ones that come in that are maybe surrendered. There's not specifically
they've
a breed.
had love. Yeah.
They've had love. So a lot of times we get where the family just can't take care of them, or maybe they are moving from a home to an apartment and it doesn't allow them. So those are sometimes a little easier because they're a little bit more trained, more housebroken, things on that line. When we receive the dogs, to what you were saying with your Shih Tzu, if they've been out on the streets for 30 days, they're going to come in and they're going to be emaciated. They're going to be
worse than that.
Yes, they're gonna have a lot of problems, and we also have no history. So those are the harder cases.
Yeah.
So I would say, it's all situational based.
If I had to pick a breed, though, if somebody said to me, "What's the easiest breed?" I would probably say Labs.
I was gonna say Labs, German Shepherds.
German Shepherds, really?
Yeah, but. Mainly because they're lovers. They have an attitude, but they're lovers. Yeah.
Never thought of it.
Yeah. Golden Retriever, same thing.
We're going to take a break, come back. We're talking to Jessica Fletcher from the Humane Society of Midland. When we come back, we'll talk about that grant floating out there and what they want to do with it. More ahead.
We're proud to make...
So we are very fortunate that we have an on-staff vet, full-time.
Full-time?
Yes, a full-time on-staff vet. And thankfully, that is a good moneymaker for us. It allows for us to maintain and sustain with our organization. With that comes a lot of wear and tear on our equipment.
So is that vet only available to your animals, or is it?
It's available to our animals. Regarding our shelter pets, we'll always get that care, and then we do open it up to the public. But it's a little limited services. He's not going to be what you would get if your dog is sick, or we do a lot of vaccine clinics. We do things that are just very basic essentials.
But public can't take advantage of
Correct.
those.
Yep. You go on
for a fee,
online.
I assume.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. We do try to keep it low cost. We understand that our community needs some low cost options, and it allows for us to offer some low cost incentives for them. But the grant allowed for us to make some pretty significant upgrades to our vet house. We call it. It's the house that's next door to our shelter, and it allows for us to buy certain machines that we needed new equipment for. And it's been so nice, so helpful. so updated.
So is this grant renewable?
It is not. It is something that was kind of like a one and done for us regarding this services, I guess. But I would assume that we could qualify for something else if we then had a different need or a different project for.
Are there granting organizations that specialize in shelters?
What was that?
Are there granting organizations that specialize in shelters?
Not that I'm aware of, at least not locally. There are some
National,
on a
like
national,
Bissell and, yeah.
correct, yes, but we don't have any that are local.
Is Bissell the big one?
Bissell is a pretty big one. We also work very closely with the Best Friends Animal Society. They are one who we continue to have an amazing relationship, and they provide us a lot of guidance, a lot of how-tos.
And how many folks does it take to run the Humane Society?
Right now we've
how
got...
many are paid and how many are volunteers?
So right now we've got about 18 staff. Majority of them... Yeah, that does sound a lot and overwhelming. Majority of them are part-time, and we do have some that are full-time, and we rely so much on our volunteers. We wouldn't be able to do what we do if we didn't have our volunteers, because it's so many tasks, so many duties, so much to take care of these animals. We need our volunteers.
So what do the volunteers do? If somebody wants to volunteer, what can they expect?
Yeah, so we love when volunteers can come in and they just want to offer snuggles to the cats. You know, they're a good cat cuddler or a dog walker. So those are the ones that we need on, pretty much a regular basis. Then we also have fosters. We always have a situation where we maybe have an animal who's been in our shelter too long, or maybe it's a special needs case. So our volunteers through fostering is a huge thing for us. But then what people don't know, it's such a significant need for us, is to help us care for our building itself. So like making sure that it's clean, doing the laundry, the dishes. You wouldn't believe how many loads of laundry we do in a day.
Really?
Yeah, because we have, soiled blankets and towels.
Of course.
Yeah. So, we're upwards of, 40 loads a day.
So this may be a stupid question. I don't know.
No stupid questions.
If I were going to foster, you'd never get the animal back.
So we call that a foster fail.
So how many foster fails are there?
It all just depends. Sometimes we can see it coming. Sometimes this person will come in and be like,
succeed, but
yes, yeah. We do have amazing fosters who stay fosters, so they see it through the whole process. And then we have some who we can kind of tell that they're not going to be fosters for long, because they get very attached to the animals, and understandably, they're sweet, innocent babies, so they deserve the love, and a lot of times they take them into their home and they just fit. So we call them foster fails, but we love them just as much.
So are we spoiling our pets? Here's what I mean by that. I know how I look at my monkey, my Shih Tzu, and I know other folks with dogs and cats that look the same way. They're no longer pets. They're members of the family. They're treated like kids. Are we spoiling them?
I don't think so. They are living, breathing.
Yeah, they are.
They are very much a part of your family. They're in your daily space. So I don't believe that we are spoiling them. I think that if you are treating them like you would treat your kid, that's what you should be doing, because it's a living, breathing being.
Might as well. They cost as much.
That is true. They do cost a lot, which is one of the things we try to educate people when they're adopting is, you might be getting this dog for, $0 or $100, but also, vet cost and, animal upkeep. So we try to educate that, but I don't see a huge amount of spoiling. What we do see is a lot of mishandling of animals. So we often see the opposite of that.
But that's because you're getting the strays and you're
Correct.
getting whatever the animal control gets.
And sometimes it's a surrender from the owners themselves. Sometimes they, just know that they can't take care of the animal, which is great because if they're not going to take care of them, please, bring them to your local shelter so that they can at least have a chance.
Yeah, I just I cannot fathom people that mistreat animals. It's disgusting is what it is.
Yeah, and sadly it happens more than people realize. Abuse, if it's human or animal, is completely uncalled for. But what's really unfortunate with animals is, they're voiceless. They can't tell you, I'm hungry or that hurts. So,
my guy can tell me he's hungry. Yes, he can.
I'm talking the actual words, but yes, I mean they're going to bark at you and nag
look
at you.
Me, he'll bark, and if I don't react, he'll take his paw and turn over his dish. He knows how to tell me he's hungry.
Maybe yours is spoiled.
Yeah, you might say that. But he's like an only child. I mean, he's my focus.
Correct. Yeah, and that's how we want that to be. Is if you had a kid, you would be doing the same thing. So treat your pets like kids, and a lot of people do.
Yeah, and they act like it. We're going to take a break. Come back, talk more about the Humane Society of Midland County with Jessica Fletcher.
Did you know you can bring the
Any organization can be a humane society. It's just kind of how you do your nonprofit status.
All right. So you got your grant, Unlock Semiconductor. Mm-hmm. What's next on your wish list?
Oh, we're talking like big scale, or
whatever scale comes first.
Well, we would always love to get a capital campaign and get a new building. We would love to have us raise, $7 to $10 million, and we would like to have a state of the art building made for us.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyone out there, get a hold of me. But that's big scale. Is we would love to be able to have a better facility than what we have now.
Which is located where?
We're located on 4371 East Ashman in Midland. And we would love to expand that. We have a very small shelter. It was actually made to be the animal control, and it was made to house a couple animals with admin offices. And we now have, sometimes 30, 40 dogs and 30, 40 cats. So it's very tight in there. So big scale, we would love to, raise.
Kennels.
Yes. So we would love to, raise all that money and be able to build us a new shelter. From a short term, we just continue to try and update the building that we have. So we just had some pretty awesome supporters through financial donation as well as in-kind donation, where we were able to update the outdoor play equipment for our dogs. So we have a facility that works right now, and we're just doing the Band-Aid doing a Band-Aid on the building, but we do what we need to do to make sure that we are taking care of the animals.
Being a nonprofit, not under the heading of a county organization, you can't ask for a millage, can you?
Well, I mean, we've looked into it. It's a lot. There's a lot of moving factors, a lot of red tape, a lot of things. A millage would be a little tough for us. There are some organizations who can do that, but millages for us would be a little bit tough. We've looked into it. We've had discussions. We have to be very cognizant of the donor fatigue. We have to be cognizant of the constituents who would vote for having their taxes go up. And so, that's where we're just hoping maybe a capital campaign would work.
The bottom line is the dollar comes out of the same pocket.
Correct.
Whether it goes to the government or whether it goes to you. It all comes out of our pockets.
And that's where some of the red tape part comes in. It's a little tough.
So what kind of events do you do to raise funds that you need?
Yeah, so we always are, doing digital, online formats. So we're always trying to engage with our online donors to have them, be able to fund us that way.
And I assume from that there's a website?
Yes, it's www.hsomc.org, and that stands for Humane Society of Midland County. And then we're always trying to do community-oriented fundraisers. So we partner with, Midland Brewing Company. We have our Pints for Pups with them. We do a lot with Reader Landscaping. We've been holding once a month kind of coffee and canines to get the dogs out of the shelter and get people to enjoy a cup of coffee and a little bit of snuggles, and they can buy shirts there. And then we also have our big gala every single year. So our big gala is called Ties and Tails, and it's in October every year. And it allows,
which means it's coming up.
It's coming up. So busy season for us for that.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, Ties and Tails is a gala that we've been putting on for, I want to say, probably 10, 11 years since we've taken over from Animal Control. But it's a way for us to reach out to donors and get them to enjoy, of course, a fun night out at a gala, but they get to hear about our organization. They get to see pictures. We sometimes are able to bring in animals, sometimes puppies and kitties, and it allows them to learn a little bit more about us. I think people always are going to want to support us because we're cats and dogs. Who wouldn't want to? But when they understand all that goes with it and all the cost and the care and everything that goes with it, and having us have the Ties and Tails Gala allows for us to bring in is our largest amount of donations coming in is through that gala.
And where do you do that?
At the Midland Country Club.
And when do you do that?
This year it's October 17th, and tickets will be on sale, I believe. I think today.
Well, how can
today or tomorrow? I got to remember my notes. But yes, we've actually been getting all of our sponsors in, so we're making sure that we have enough tables and seats. But it's a sellout every single year, and
how much?
It's $125 per ticket. We do have options for you to sponsor that allows you to either get tickets or a table. And then we have silent auction items. We've got live auction bidding. It's a fun
big
night
event.
out. It's a big event. Yeah.
And is there a website people can go to?
It's hsomc.org, and you can go to our events tab and learn about all of our events. Especially with Ties and Tails. And we're in the process of finalizing everything for our 2026 year. So we will get that kind of updated and out there.
We'll get a heads up when we return about that. We're talking to Jessica Fletcher from the Humane Society of Midland County. More ahead. And we are back with you. In studio with us, the Executive Director of the Humane Society of Midland County. She is Jessica Fletcher. So let's talk about how someone who is looking to adopt goes about it. What's the protocol?
Well, there are a couple options. We, of course, always want you to come in and meet the, pup or cat. But you can also check them out on our website. But more or less, you come into a shelter and we're going to ask for you to go. So say you wanted to look at the dogs. We're going to take you back to the dogs. We're going to show you what dogs we have. And then hopefully you then want to take the dog out. You want to take it for a walk, take it in the back play yard, get to know it a little bit more. So we then, work with you. Our staff will work with the individuals. If they also have pets of their own at their home, we also ask that they bring them with them because it's better for those animals to kind of meet first instead of then bringing that dog home to kind of an unsettled situation. So most of the time we try to get, family members and pets to come. And then we're going to ask a lot of questions. We want to make sure that home is, a safe environment, that, the people who are adopting this animal are the right fit. And so we go through a vetting of different questions to make sure that animal will be a good fit. Some, animals don't like other animals. This dog might not be cat friendly or might not like children. So those are things that we need to know when we do those vetting process. And if we feel like it's a good fit, then we go ahead and we approve the adoption.
How long does it take?
If they were to literally just walk in, see the dog that they want, I mean, you could, an hour-ish. But, we hope that it maybe can take a little bit longer. And that's because we do want to go through those questions and we do want to make sure that fit works. And sometimes that means that you come back for, a second visit. So it just varies. But a lot of times people are like, nope, this is the dog. I have no kids, no cats, none of these things. And it's, you can be an hour at most.
I want to take a break and also an EAS test coming up right after these notes, and we'll be back with Jessica.
People don't like
This is a coordinated monthly test of the broadcast stations of the East Central Michigan operational area. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. If this had been an actual emergency, such as a weather-related or civil emergency, official messages would have followed the alert tone. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system.
This is a test of the emergency.
All right, we're back with you and finishing up our conversation with Jessica Fletcher, who is the Executive Director of the Humane Society of Midland County. So really it doesn't take that long to adopt.
No, not for us. There are some other shelters and organizations where they might go out to your home and kind of check the settings, but we are same-day adoptions.
When you have an overrun of animals,
correct,
do you work with other shelters? Do you ship them off to be adopted elsewhere?
We do. So yes, all shelters right now are in pretty desperate needs, but we do work very closely with other shelters, both local and in the state, as sometimes out of state as well. So when we get animals adopted, if we then have open space, we of course always need to save space for any strays or surrenders that come in on a regular basis. But then we also try to help out Saginaw Bay. And then we have a contract with the Detroit Animal Care and Control. And as part of that, we had a contract where we were getting in 500 dogs from them.
Huh?
Yes, it was supposed to be.
Not all at once.
No, definitely. We did not have space for that. But it was supposed to be 500 in 1 year's time. And because of just the financial difficulty of people adopting, it's taken us about 2 years, but we're almost to the 500. And thankfully, they've been very kind and patient with us, but also the fact that we are taking animals from them, because even though we are overrun, we're no kill. So we try to help out places that have higher euthanasia rates. And that's one of the things that we will always forever do, is if we know that we can save an animal, we're going to do it.
And how is the adoption demand?
Ooh, adoptions are really tough right now because of people having such difficulty with being able to take care of themselves. They're not adopting like they used to. So although we are still getting 20 to 30 adopted out in a week, that it's hit and miss. There might be a week where we get 3 adopted, or we might get 10 adopted, but most of the time we try to get the 20 to 30. And it just varies. It also varies on the shelter and the location. Some places can, barely get adoptions.
Well, Jessica, thanks for chatting with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And again, tell everybody the website.
Yeah, we would love for you to visit hsomc.org, and you can check us out on our social media. We've got Facebook and Instagram, but we'd love for you to get a hold of us.
Jessica Fletcher, Executive Director of the Humane Society of Midland County. We'll be back to close out.
Broadcasting from the